All right. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to our acu-connect webinar. So excited to have Avalara and Starship today presenting for us on navigating the intersection of tax compliance and shipping efficiency. So we're going to get things kicked off. As you know, we are recording this webinar and we'll be sending out the recording. In case you have to jump off early, no worries. We will get this over to you in the next few days, but let's thank our community sponsors, for without them, we couldn't bring all of these webinars to you. So very excited to have these community sponsors. And here are all of our community sponsors. And what's kind of exciting is that this is going to change a little bit in the next month or so, because Acu-connect's fiscal year ends in March, and then we start our new one in April. So there'll be some new logos that you'll be seeing. And our mission, as you know, is to make sure we help solve problems, bring you educational and informational content, share the expertise from experts, bring in all of these thought leaders. Here comes a bunch more people, so sorry, I keep admitting people in. And we just want to provide community, a place for members to come and learn and educate and network and share. And of course, it is for everyone. We have ISVs, we have partners, we have tons of customers. So it's a very explosive community and we're growing all the time. Here is our agenda for today. So excited to have Connor from Avalara and Matt from Starship talking about how they can help you understand the impact of tax compliance, which is going to be what Connor's focusing on, and then optimizing shipping processes to maximize your efficiency, which was what Matt will be focusing on, and of course, leveraging their technology to improve your transformation journey. We will save the questions for the end, so if you could put those in the Q&A section or chat of the Zoom meeting, we will certainly get those answered for you. We will save some time at the end to do that. With that, I'm going to let Connor take it away.
All right, thank you so much, Amy, and thanks for everyone who's attending today's session. My name is Connor O'Donnell, and I am Avalara's Acumatica specialist, which essentially just means, y'all, I work with anyone in the Acumatica lifecycle ecosystem who is either transitioning to Acumatica, currently on Acumatica, or every once in a blue moon, someone who's just considering a transition to Acumatica, and I work with them to craft up a compliance solution based off the specifics of their business's needs. But a little bit about Avalara to get us started. So Avalara began in 2004. So side note, we just had our 20-year anniversary here recently, and over the past 2 decades, Avalara has really been the industry leader in compliance automation. You know, as you can see here in the slide, we're fortunate that we have over 30,000 customers in almost 100 different countries across the world. And while we have over 1,200 pre-built integrations into different ERPs and point of sale systems, in today's conversation, we're going to focus on our time, of course, between that integration between Avalara and Acumatica and look at that relationship as a whole. But, you know, we've found that Acumatica customers are continually utilizing Avalara, not only because we are the industry leader, but also because of our robust products and really just the wealth of knowledge and expertise that we can provide in that compliance sector. So our tax engine has over 10,000 different tax codes within it. You know, we can align to any type of niche product that you might have. We support 20 different industries. So needless to say, there's no matter how complex your business is or how nuanced your compliance processes are, Avalara and myself would love to support you in this Acumatica ecosystem. So while Avalara's inception began in 2004 with our sales tax engine, over the past 2 decades, we've really grown our service offering significantly. And really what brought about these changes is we listened to customers like yourself and potential customers like yourself to hear what their needs are, coupling that with the ever-changing compliance landscape. Because as you all know, it's always changing, it's ever-growing, ever-faceted. And we took all that together to create these 6 pillars that you can see here on this slide deck. So we built this end-to-end tax compliance solution with the goal of simplifying compliance for our customers, because at the end of the day, this is not the only business priority that y'all are dealing with. We know y'all wear a lot of different hats, and so we want to be able to support you in that. So whether it's sales tax calculations, whether it's remitting returns, managing your exemption certificate, your business licenses, or providing international compliance or providing compliance research, Avalara is truly that of Avalara as a business. It came about because tackling compliance manually is a challenging process. I've been with Avalara for quite a few years now, and it does seem that every year there's different complexities that the governments bring to businesses like yourself. Tennessee might change a sales tax rate from 6.25 to 6.5. California might add a new local tax jurisdiction with a recent election. California might update their manufacturing exemption certificate. So rather than you all having to be responsible for knowing and tracking and monitoring this yourselves, this is where Avalara's products are built to be malleable to address the ever-changing compliance industry. So I'll leave you with this. Of course, we are acu-connect, and so we're going to talk about the Avalara Acumatica integration and partnership as a whole. We've been very fortunate to be partnered with Acumatica for over a decade, and we take a lot of pride in that relationship because Acumatica, despite having other options, they actually use Avalara on the back end for their own compliance processes. So as an Acumatica user, you'll be able to connect Avalara's suite of products via Acumatica pre-built integration into Avalara. This integration was developed over a decade ago, and it was developed by Acumatica developers who are still constantly maintaining and updating this integration directly themselves. And the nice part is, I'm sure if y'all are current Acumatica users, you're most likely on different versions of Acumatica. That is not an issue for Avalara. We are compatible, and that integration is compatible with every and all versions or releases of Acumatica. But as you can see here in the slide, and this is what I'll leave you with, one of the best aspects of the Acumatica community as a whole is there's really this big emphasis on open communication. And I've seen it especially in regards to product enhancements and product improvements. And this open forum is where Avalara and Acumatica have also worked together to add features to both our current but also our potential Avalara customers. And we're taking feedback and advice from y'all. So based on some of your requests, last year we added some of these features. And I'm just going to mention a few just because of the sake of time. We do lat-long address validation. We do bulk of address validation, company code mapping, where you can report the GL at all features that
Right.
we added last year, specifically based off the feedback of customers like yourself. So this is the really nice part about the Avalara Acumatica partnership, is that we're ever growing and we're listening. We want your feedback as potential and current customers about how we can help out best. So that was a lot to jam into 10 minutes, but I want to be mindful of everyone's time and turn it over to Matt St. John from Starship. So Matt, it is all yours, and I will stop sharing
Yeah,
and give you access.
perfect. Thank you, Connor. Appreciate it. And as Connor mentioned, I'm really appreciative of taking time to join today's webinar. And I know you're busy, and we really appreciate that time. So as Connor mentioned, we have only about 10 minutes here, so I'm going to throw a lot at you. But most certainly, please feel free to reach out if you'd like to schedule discovery demo calls. Kind of do a deeper dive in the woods to talk about your shipping processes and how Starship can help streamline those processes. To start off a little bit about V Technologies. So V Technologies is the company. Starship is actually the software we've developed. But as you see, we were founded in 1987 with carriers like UPS and FedEx. We are a certified solution. So basically what that means is things like our shipping labels are going to be delivered to you already certified. We are part of their subsidy programs where you can qualify for free funding. Of course, use that funding to purchase Starship. We've been integrated with Acumatica for 9 years now. And over the 37 years that we've been in business, we've actually had over 10,000 companies use our integrated shipping solutions to help streamline their day-to-day shipping activities. So with Starship, really, it's basically what we call it is multi-carrier, multi-mode. Basically, what that means is just through the Starship program, you are going to be able to process all your different type of shipments. So things from international, LTL, hazmat type shipments. Even one-offs. Maybe you're doing a shipment where we don't have a sales order or shipment record inside of Acumatica. Right? But really niche again is streamlining that whole process. So we allow for things like live rate shopping at time of sales order. So maybe we want our front office to be able to rate shop. Of course, at the shipment level, when we're processing the shipment, we can do things like doing best way shipping, where Starship automatically selects the least expensive carrier service. Really, with our cloud program, all our carrier modules are included, and some clients even fold in USPS because it's included to see if they can find discounted rates. With Starship, we're bringing in not only that kind of order shipment level header information, but also the line level. So that really helps us allow you to streamline your international shipment. Again, hazmat, we have a whole database for the required hazmat information. And same thing on the LTL side, where Starship can even generate things like bill of lading forms. And if you are doing blind drop shipments where, maybe we need to show the shipments coming from someone else, fully support those as well. Can even set up Starship to automatically change things like the sender information, and then even print a special, maybe a packing slip that shows that company's logo and information. Also with Starship reporting tools, I know Acumatica does a great job with dashboards, so on and so forth, but Starship also includes our own dashboard program. So you can really give anyone access to all the required shipping information, reprint shipping documents. We even have an e-notify program that you can actually create your own custom email templates. So if you wanted to send out to your customers all that shipping data, like item box information, hyperlink tracking numbers, definitely a lot of our clients take advantage of that. So we're not using those carrier branded emails. So with Acumatica, it's a real-time integration, and that means bringing in the data as well as pushing it back. So as soon as we click ship and process inside Starship, really for the shipper, they're going to receive shipping labels, again, any of those different type of shipping documents, but we're also then going to just automatically update Acumatica. And with Starship, we can pull by a sales order number and then just trigger Starship to automatically create and update the shipment record. Most clients, they do actually just pull by the shipment record. So kind of same thing. Hey, we're just going to bring in all the shipping information. When we process the shipment, Starship immediately updates Acumatica on that shipment record. But as you see, we're of course going to update tracking information, shipped on date, even ship via codes we can reverse translate. So if it came in as say UPS and FedEx is going to be the least expensive carrier or faster carrier on the shipment, it will also note the ship via was FedEx on the shipping record. And we are updating all the actual the Acumatica tables. So the tracking field, the ship via code, so on and so forth. Inside Starship, if you are doing the item box detail, which it's not a requirement, but you can drag and drop, add boxes. Even we have a whole database like Acumatica for package names. We will update that information. So it could show, these 2 items went in a small box. These 5 items went into a large box. So of course, with that, all the individual tracking numbers. We are also going to update freight price and freight cost. So freight price and freight cost fields automatically will have that data pushed back. So you can see, your contract rate and then what you want to charge the customer. Starship also has freight rules. So if you ever need to mark up shipments, you can most certainly create rules and Starship will automatically do that. We can also do write back rules. So for example, if your order came from an e-commerce or a web store, and you already charged the customer freight, we can tell Starship in those scenarios, do not overwrite the freight amount. We also have a built-in custom write-back feature. So if there was any additional shipping information that you would want to send back into maybe an attribute field, custom fields, or maybe the reference fields, that's built right into Starship. So with Starship, it's simple data mapping of Acumatica fields. And nice thing with that is if you did want to pull in like an attribute field, or maybe you had a field in customer maintenance you wanted us to map in, it's not like we have to redesign the software. It's all just simple data mapping with drop downs where we map all the fields in from Acumatica, and as I mentioned, pushing back. So a lot of clients do take advantage of that custom write back. They might even add an attribute field for, hey, what would have we charged Starship, or what would we charge the customer if the shipment went through Starship? Maybe it's an e-commerce order, and we want to make sure the rules on our e-commerce site for shipping are correct. So again, we can take that additional information and push it back into Acumatica. On the shipment side, usually out of the box, we'll mark the shipment status complete. So right from there, they're going to be shipped, they're complete, and then the front office can actually then generate those invoices for those shipments. But again, if you don't want it to be marked complete, it's a simple option. We can change it. And then also, again, we write back all this shipping information, but we can even create a note. So if there was additional shipping information that you want to send back on like a note, we can do that as well. So very flexible, and again, main thing here is streamlining your whole shipment. So Starship is a cloud-based solution. Nice thing with that is Starship is always going to be on the latest version. So we're going to host it, we're going to maintain it. You don't have to do updates, anything like that. With our different cloud plans, which just are based on shipping volumes, you will gain access to unlimited users, and of course, all the carriers that we integrate with. So we have small parcel only plans, small parcel and LTL plans. There's actually a management portal that you can log into if you ever need to. For example, maybe you're seasonal and, hey, next month I'm going to be slower, or we're going to be busier. You can go in that portal and tell Starship ahead of time that you do want to switch plans to meet your seasonality needs. Okay. So you're not locked into any plans. So if you do, of course, you can prepay month to month, or if you needed to, you could, prepay for 12 months, and we usually give an additional discount for that. But regardless of the way you do it, you're not locked into any plans. And then, of course, with the unlimited users, you're going to be able to set up individual user roles and permissions. So, of course, we're going to have our Starship users that are using the product to process shipments. But then maybe, for example, we want a dashboard user where we just want them to be able to get into the dashboard program to run reports or see stats. So, of course, you can be able to do that and have your different users with their roles and security options. And this slide is just a snapshot of some of those carriers that we do integrate with. So again, with these connections, it's a live call. So we're pinging carriers with your account information and going to return live contract rates. We can also return published list rates. But again, the big thing there is it's a live call. That way, tomorrow, say UPS ups a fuel surcharge. When you rate shop tomorrow, UPS, say for UPS, you're going to immediately gain access to those new rates without having to do downloads or updates. Okay. Nice thing on the LTL side, kind of depends on the carrier. A lot of them support different options, but on the LTL side, of course, you're going to be able to do live rate shopping. But a lot of the carriers like FedEx Freight, they'll also return pro numbers and even offer electronic pickup. Well, Starship will ping the carrier, let them know that you have a shipment ready to go. So with Starship, again, being multi-carrier, multi-mode, it is going to replace things like, hey, I go to the FedEx portal, or I'm using UPS and FedEx for small parcel, and I use UPS World Ship, FedEx Ship Manager. We're going to replace all those. So again, it's just going to be one-stop shopping for rates, one place where shippers are going to be able to process all their different type of products. And we actually live outside of Acumatica, but the nice thing with that is, as a shipper, I don't have to be inside of Acumatica. I don't have to jump back and forth between two softwares. And again, it's a live connection. So as the front office is adding sales orders or even shipment records, Starship's picking them up. Same thing if we make a revision to a source document, Starship immediately picks up that information. All right, but again, just going to put up this information. So if you have any questions, if you don't want to ask today, we do have the contact information for acu-connect here. But just wanted to do a quick overview of Starship. But again, we really appreciate your time.
Yes, thank you so much, Matt and Connor. We do have some questions and some poll questions that we would like to kick off. So I'm going to just kick these poll questions off now. If everyone could just quickly take a few seconds and pick, that would be wonderful. And we do appreciate your input on our webinars, of course. Awesome. Everybody said yes. So I'm going to say that's success for poll 1. And let's go with poll 2. All right. And I believe we have some questions. David, do you want to?
Yeah, absolutely. Good afternoon. Great webinar, great content. Thank you, both Starship and Avalara. So we got one question for each of you. For Avalara, we've got a question that came in. It's there are some states that include an expiration date on their certificates. Do we need to make sure that we have not expired certificates from customers for these states, or is it okay for us to go ahead and get a new one every few years?
Yeah, it's a good question, and one I find common in the Acumatica space because given the different modules in Acumatica, like construction or manufacturing and distributing, a lot of these customers are dealing with exempt customers within their own businesses. With exempt customers, of course, there is the necessity to get exemption certificates. Just a kind of tidbit there, y'all. If you are dealing with exempt customers, exemption certificates are your shield during an audit. It's your defense as to why you didn't collect sales tax from that specific customer. So very, very important that you are collecting them, but not only just collecting them and then put them in a filing cabinet or putting them in the shared drive, but maintaining them as well. And so this is where Avalara, is one of our products, come into play. We have an exemption certificate management system called ECM Pro, and that system will be your one-stop shop for the entire lifecycle management of a certificate. So when you bring on a new exempt customer, you can send them our portal. Our portal will then pre-populate with the correct specifications of that exempt customer. So if they're a manufacturer in North Carolina, where I'm at, they'll get the manufacturing certificate for North Carolina, or if they're, let's say, a hospital in Massachusetts, they'll get the healthcare exemption certificate for Massachusetts. So rather than you all having to find that yourselves, our system will do that. And then the nice part, and to David's question that he's got, it'll also manage the expiration dates of these certificates. So the system knows when these certificates are going to expire, and then we'll collect a new one because every state has different cadence for the expiration of their certificates. North Carolina, where I'm at, they're good indefinitely. So you get one, you're good to go. Illinois, they expire every 3 years, whereas Florida, they expire every year. So rather than you all having to track these cadences of the states, our system will track it for you and then request and collect a new one to keep you audit protected for your highly exempt customers.
Perfect. Thank you. I am very familiar with that product. I used it in the past as a reseller and love that feature.
Oh, great.
Customers love that automation. So set it and forget it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then for Starship, we've got another kind of question that has to do with some automation. Does Starship offer address validation?
Oh, yeah, great question. So we most certainly we offer address validation. We validate zip +4, and then we take it a step further, even do the residential commercial flag validation. And it could be set up. Of course, Starship's automatically going to bring in the ship to address, but we can even have it automatically run that validation and pop up a prompt for the shipper that, hey, these are the correct addresses that you should change it to or address. Or, of course, if they wanted to, they could just select the manual running of the address validation. But yep. And then, of course, things like that, what we can do is, again, if the address gets changed due to validation, we can reverse translate that so it's correct on that shipment record. Great question.
Yes, both great
Perfect.
questions.
That's it. Yeah, that's all we've got, Amy.
All right. Well, I guess we can give everyone a few minutes back in their day, but thank you so much for joining us. If you're not part of Acu-Connect, make sure you go to acu-connect.com and sign up. It is free to be a member. And of course, follow us on LinkedIn and Twitter as well to keep up to date on all of the information we share, post, publish, and promote, as well as all of our events and webinars. So thank you again for joining us this month, and stay tuned for more webinars to come as we kick off our fiscal year in April. Bye, everyone.
Have a great Tuesday.
Thanks, everyone.